Monday morning quarterbacks panel. So we want to jump right into it with today's guest to break down a preview of the State of the Union this week. Joining me now are strategists Gabriella Hoffman and Jessica Earlrich. Good morning, ladies.
Good morning.
We will get to the State of the Union in just a bit. We must start with Haley winning D.C.'s Republican primary over the weekend. I want to know from both of you, and Gabriella, I'll start with you. What does her win against Trump mean for Super Tuesday and for Trump moving forward?
It wasn't surprising to see Nikki Haley capture the delegates here in D.C. It's a little different than the rest of the country. It's kind of an outlier. And unfortunately for the Haley campaign, it doesn't look like she will have a path going forward just because the momentum seems to appear to be in favor of the former president. And if she does not make any gains upon what she's, finally secured in D.C., it would be wise for her to reconsider her prospects going forward. But the momentum does not seem to be going in her favor. And even conservatives who generally like what she has to say also agree that she's kind of met her threshold.
More like a symbolic victory. Do you agree, Jessica?
We've seen it play out so far in the numbers. Of course, Super Tuesday is coming up this week, so it's going to be a very busy week. But I think her conversation that she had yesterday in terms of the news was very interesting, just regarding how she's looking at whether she will support the Republican candidate, assumingly it will be Trump and not her, going forward, and her comments about the RNC and the state of the Republican Party. I think that was very telling because, it is interesting. She has gained more traction than anyone else in their sort of bid and fight against Trump. She stands for a different message, and people are reacting to it, be it whether it's in the district or in various states across the country. Not as strongly as they are to Trump, but she still has supporters.
The State of the Union address is set for this Thursday. And Jessica, I'll stick with you here. What do you believe President Biden needs to do in order to, bring us into what's happening with the country and also sway more voters his way moving into the election?
Well, this is going to be, I think, a very important State of the Union since it possibly most likely is his last one prior to the general election. So he's really got to state his case in a strong way for who he is and what his presidency has been about, what the next 4 years will be about if he is reelected, the state of the economy, the path that we're going on as a country, why that path is better because of his stewardship and the strength and clarity that he has in terms of a vision for where we should be going for the next 4 years. And I think that's really his strongest suit, other than the knocks against his age or things like that. His strong, steady hand and leadership, I think, is what people want to see from him, and that he's got that sort of clarity of vision.
Gabriella, what are you looking to hear and see?
I would like to see a more conciliatory tone from the president because he's been demagoguing half the country since he got into office, promised to be someone who's going to bring together the country, yet he has also contributed to the malaise of the different sides not getting together. So he has to kind of check himself as well. And he has to kind of face the facts that his policies, while they sound great and he thinks that they're winning over people, a lot of respondents, including Democrats and increasingly independents, are responding negatively to his positions on crime, border security, which has surged to be one of the top issues, if not the top issue, even in states that don't have a contiguous border with either Mexico or even Canada, even because people are very concerned about that as well. The economy is getting low marks, his performance there. So he has to reconcile that his policies are not translating favorably in national polling and also in state polling and in competitive states that are decisive for the election this year. So is he going to be a little more humble? Is he going to be recognizing that perhaps maybe he's gone a little too extreme? Maybe he will strike a conciliatory tone. I'm not optimistic, but that's what I'd like to see.
Okay, so not just topics, but tone is very important for both of you. Thank you so much for joining me. I know that we'll talk again Friday to react to the State of the Union address, but I thank you both for joining me this morning. Strategist Gabriella Hoffman and Jessica Earlrich. Take care.
Thank you.
Tucker, let's talk.